how do we evolve our keyword strategy to go, what are the best types of keywords with the highest level of intent?
Yeah.
Content side.
Totally. I think that, what people would generally peg down is those very long tail searches. And for those of you who don't know what long tail is, it's usually a search phrase that includes 3-5 different characters, right? You could be like best fishing rods under $50 with reel or something like that, right? It's very specific. Yeah. It's very long. So those are going to be the highest value keywords from an intent perspective, because when somebody is typing something that long into Google, chances are they've already done a lot of research, right? Compared to somebody who's searching for fishing rods or even best fishing rods, right? It's like layers and layers like below. The other interesting thing, if we're talking about intent, which you might have been hearing thrown around, is topical authority. And topical authority is this idea that Google is very good about understanding what your website should be ranking for based on what the content is and how the current performance of that content should look. So you kind of hear this advice, right? Just, don't always go after the highly valuable, super juicy keywords like best fishing rod under $200. Also create content around benefits of a fly fishing rod versus a reel fishing rod, or, what is a fishing rod, or how do fishing rods work? And you need these supporting pieces of content to prove to Google that you are an authority on fishing rods to then qualify to rank for best fishing rod or best fishing rod under $200. So now you have like a couple of concepts at play, right? You have search intent, which is what are your money keywords, right? If you were to rank for this, is this going to pull in, a good amount of affiliate revenue for you? But then you also have topical authority, which is juggling how much supporting content that you have that's not really that high intent, but putting it into place so that you can prove to Google that your content, your website should rank for content associated with fishing rods in the first place.
Yeah, I love it. I love that explanation. Thank you so much. And so if you got high level search intent keywords and content you're creating, and then you got topical authority content, I would dare say that the topical authority keywords and articles that you're creating have a higher search volume than the high level search intent, because then the question becomes, how do you juggle how many pieces of content you create for a search intent, and then how many you create for topical authority, and how aggressive do you go in each of those content strategies? Now we're going deep.
Yeah. So, I have some high level thoughts, and don't quote me on this, but it's generally what I've seen is as low as a 3-to-1 ratio. Is like, okay, if you're talking about, if you want to rank for best fishing rods, you have 3 supporting pieces of content that are not transactionally relevant whatsoever to fishing rods. So what is a fishing rod, advantages of fishing rods, and, how fishing rods work. And then you have best fishing rods. We've seen also, I would say that's pretty aggressive in terms of the supporting content is a 3-to-1 ratio. I'd say what's more normal is like an 8-to-1 ratio, right? So you can imagine best fishing rods, and then you have, what it is, how it works, why it's important, fishing rods versus, other types of fishing rods, different types of fishing rods, and then your best fishing rods. That's going to be like a more healthy looking ratio. I don't know if there's a such thing as what, I'm saying that Google's really oh yeah, it's a 3-to-1 ratio. It's on the thinner side. I don't think that's how it really works, but just general observations in terms of a healthy mix of informational research and, juicy money pages.
Yeah,